by wrong side of the road. This is it's kind of hard to keep up with this guy right now. Yeah, the stolen Subaru Forester. Go ahead, Matt. My God. Yeah, I mean, you can see there was a collision of some sort that this vehicle had to be involved in. Just looking at the bumper there, that's kind of halfway separated away from the vehicle. And you know, these are all-wheel drive vehicles. Subarus are all equipped with all-wheel drive, so they're generally very well-handling vehicles, very capable vehicles. But you're right, incredibly erratic driving. And if it's not in the hands of a very skilled driver, at these kind of speeds, even with that capability, you're going to see kind of jerking motions back and forth. But my good, this is not going to end well at this rate here, Pat and Rick. Looks like it's almost like he was, yeah. Yeah, well, let's see here. I think, is he getting on the freeway? No, stand by here. Yeah, it looks like he's going to be getting on the southbound 110, but there's not very much freeway left at this point where the freeway ends at Gaffey Street, so it looks like he's headed southbound here. Stand by. Of course, we're in a rush hour here, but this section of the Harbor Freeway that ends in San Pedro isn't typically too heavy, even during rush hour. But, you've got a ton of people here, just got out of the office, probably just sat in a lot of terrible traffic on the southbound 110, and you come down here to San Pedro, and here comes this guy just flying up right behind you. Yeah, that's right, Rick. Although he doesn't have too much freeway left, he's only got about a mile or so, and actually, as I look ahead near the end of the freeway where this terminates onto Gaffey Street, it looks like there is some traffic. There you see in the center divider, this guy just taking every possible liberty he can to escape the authorities. But now you can see we're getting into some of that heavier traffic here. Southbound on the 110, it's going to turn into Gaffey Street. He's going to have, well, not from this lane. He would have the option to hit the Vincent Thomas Bridge, although I think he just missed that. So it looks like at this point he's going to be flying along here southbound on the 110 as he gets down into the heart of San Pedro. CHP was prepared to get involved. They were right behind him. They were prepared to get in on this, and then it looked like, wow, definitely looked like he had to have hit, maybe clipped one of those vehicles right there. Yeah. I don't see any of the authorities behind him at this point, though. Now doubling back. Illegal U-turn there now to go back north on the 110. So right there where he ran out of roadway and got stuck in that traffic, he decided, no, we're gonna turn back north here. Hold on one second, we're gonna have to flip around and keep a visual on this guy. But again, northbound now on the 110. So now leaving San Pedro, and we'll see if he's gonna keep this on the freeway or get back off, perhaps in the Long Beach area. We're always trying to surmise what is on these suspects' minds. A lot of times that they hang out in familiar areas. There you do see the sheriff's airship overhead. So right now, okay, he's going to be getting off the freeway. Again, I believe this is at Anaheim Street, right where we were. Now headed, well, let's see. Now he's going back south again. So very erratic. Doesn't seem like there's any pattern here at all. Hopefully this guy is going to hit yeah, this is on the north end. Yeah, this is on the north end of the ports of Long Beach and San Pedro. Let's just hope this guy hits a dead end or something, and they can corral this guy and bring this incredibly dangerous situation to an end here. But I don't see anyone directly behind him right now. It's just going to be fighting from the air. There you see the bumper practically ripped off the back, so he must have clipped another vehicle in such a way. Yeah. Yeah, it did. Yeah. Look at this, right into the cargo container area. Never seen anything like this. I mean, you're going to have, wow, almost coming face to face with one of those container loaders right there. This it really is pretty high up on my list now as far as the insane situations we've seen here, Pat and Rick. I've never seen a pursuit go into the ports of Long Beach like this before. Just hauling along. I mean, you know, there's cross traffic out here. There's big rigs coming and going. You saw that container loader that's, you know, going at a pretty slow speed, and this guy's driving like a maniac along the ports of Long Beach here, where they stack containers. What the heck? Wow. Yeah, he went behind the containers. Wow. Totally insane situation here. Yeah, I mean, you know, no, probably not. I mean, yeah, I mean, this is you know, pretty confusing area. Obviously, not meant for passenger vehicles to ever come in this way. It's not going to have the same kind of signage, you know, leading you in and out. And pretty much everything here leads to a dead end or a bunch of containers stacked up. Just, you know, obviously this guy is panicking. Yeah, really difficult to follow this guy doing donuts now. No, no, yeah, not seeing any right now, Pat. It just I don't I'm completely flabbergasted by this one, guys. Yeah, you got him. Okay. Do you see any cops around here? No. Okay. Here. Got you. Here. So you kind of going in circles, right? Yeah, very easily, Pat and Rick. We're still not seeing any of the authorities here anywhere near. If they're having trouble being guided in here, or if they just don't, if this guy is driving, so recklessly that they kind of still want to keep their distance, or what the deal is. He's obviously lost. We're all a little bit lost with this, but he does seem to be going in circles. I don't see any way for him to get out of this. Directly the way that he's going. You see right there up against the water, so he's really just kind of looping around this area right here where I believe this is where they take some of the containers off of the ships and then stack them here along the sides of the port. Oh. Yeah, that's certainly possible. That it would certainly be my hope. Give me 1 second here. I'm trying to get some information from my pilot, Zeus. He's, no, okay. Just from the air right now. Okay. Oh. Yeah, someone there looked like an angry worker just threw something at the vehicle there. And we saw one of those other trucks. I couldn't tell if one of those other trucks was trying to engage this guy, maybe one of the port supervisors or something. But my pilot was just telling me that no, right now they just have the sheriff's airship overhead kind of monitoring this insane situation. We don't have any of the ground units here yet, but he just continues to loop around now as okay. Yeah, you saw him hanging out the window right there. Yeah, Well, I never heard any reports of a passenger in the vehicle, but I'm wondering if he's trying to, gander out the window at the air unit to see if there's somewhere here where he can get enough cover to leave the vehicle and then run, and who knows, maybe go jump in the ocean or something to get away. Who knows? But we did hear that units are trying to find their way in. One unit just got in here, not too far away from our. In the port complex here, but it's such a confusing area. Obviously, if you're not a big rig driver that comes here every day, you could get turned around here very easily. I'm pretty sure there's only one way in and out of this particular complex, and it looks like he got himself in, and he doesn't know how to get out, and the police are having trouble getting in to apprehend this guy. He's getting out. There he goes. He's running. Wow. Now what? He left the car in drive, so the car could. Okay, now you see him. Now, okay, they finally got here. This looks like it might be. I think this is going to be Long Beach PD who just got in, and there's a port worker right there, also watching this spectacle unfold as he's now climbing the scaffolding up to where I believe these cranes are. Let me just zoom out and show you. Yeah, this is, I think, one of those massive contraptions that moves the containers around. Yeah, definitely. This is. Yeah, I would say at least 100 or so feet. Yeah, I think, well, like you said, he's definitely very winded at this point. Um, now he's kind of come up to a dead end, and just really hope that there's nobody else up here working in this area right now, lest this, gets any more dangerous than it's already been. We don't know if this guy's armed or what the deal is. We know he's very dangerous based on the way that he was driving, but this could very easily turn in. No, definitely. I mean, is this guy on drugs? Possibly. Now, okay, we're going to have to reposition here to see. It looks like that stairwell leads directly into this building, so we've lost visual for now. Stand by. We're going to. Well, let's see. We can kind of see the back of the street right there, and I don't see the vehicle. I would hope that LAPD was able to run and jump in and put that thing in park before it, went headfirst into the ocean or something. No, I think he's inside of this building now, and so we may have a standoff situation now. Yeah, well, it looked like the stairs, led directly up into the inside of that building, and so I think well, yeah, definitely. I mean, God forbid this turn into a hostage situation or something. I still I don't see them climbing up here. We're trying to swing back around. We're just told that he is still outside somehow. So give me a minute here to try to find this knucklehead. Keep orbiting. I think I see now. Yeah. Just keep moving around. Yeah, I don't know. Keep moving around. Yeah, I do see him at the bottom. It looks like they've been hesitant to follow him here up. Give us. Can you swing around? Apparently he's. Yeah, we're looking. I don't. Oh, is that him? There he is. There he is. Wow. Okay. Now we're losing him again. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I'm sure that's what he's doing. I mean, he was able to just evade us for a couple of minutes, and I'm sure he's giving the airship fits as well. But you could tell this guy looks like he's a little whacked out of his mind right now. He was kind of going over the railing. You know, we're more than 100 or so feet in the air. I'm sure he's trying to find, you know, another way down here if he thinks that he's going to evade the authorities. Let's see where this leads. It's really, yeah. I mean, this goes right to the very end. There's no way down that way. I mean, there's only one way down. It's not via stairs. If that's what he's thinking, who knows? Yeah, it's hard to tell from the perspective here, guys, if that goes directly to the water or if that is still concrete directly underneath. I mean, the water's obviously very close, but no, he's definitely backing himself into a corner here. I'll just zoom out here for. No, not yet. He's really on the edge right now. I think he's just sitting down and if he's just enjoying the weather and the view here, maybe realizing this is his last few moments of freedom. But no, I have not seen the authorities come up and try to grab this guy. This is almost kind of reminiscent of a situation we had 6 or so months ago with a troubled lady who. Yes, exactly. That was exactly the situation I was thinking of, and that situation, if I recall, lasted several hours before they finally went up and talked to her and were able to talk her down. So we'll see if this turns into a situation like that or what. But yeah, this guy is still obviously very agitated. I'm sure he's not thrilled. Yeah, just can't really keep this guy in one space for more than 90 seconds, it seems. But again, no direct way down from where he's at. Kind of backed himself into a corner. I'll just kind of give you some more perspective here for a second. And you see, you know, the sheriffs, obviously they've got him. They are watching this guy like a hawk. And zooming all the way out, you can see, I think you can see where the containers are directly below. He would not be able to jump and make it into the water if that was even on his mind. Yeah, I'm kind of holding my breath up here, Pat. This is it's really getting scary now. Yeah. I'm just zooming out here to see if we have any Long Beach PD, any crisis counselors or anything like that coming up here. And you can see I don't see anyone on the staircase at this point. I think they may still be on the ground, probably trying to assess what the best way is going to be to handle this guy who is clearly not in a right state of mind. Okay. Copy. Try bark. Copy. What is the airship saying anything? No. Oh, LAPD? LAPD chopper's gonna come? Okay. Huh. Oh, really? With a bullhorn, maybe? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, my shot's clear, right? I want to zoom out and see what that boat's up to. The boat's going north and south? Okay, I see that boat. Oh, yeah, yeah, uh-huh. Yeah, port police, all right. Oh, Coast Guard. Okay. Oh, there's a second port boat? Okay. Okay. Well, hello to everyone watching on Facebook Live and CBS 2. This totally crazy situation. I'm sorry, I'm trying to listen to the Port Police talk as well. Yeah, what can you say about this? Was a wild pursuit that started in Carson. Guy was driving like an absolute maniac. It was a miracle that he didn't kill anyone or himself in that Subaru Forester, and drove into the ports of LA and was driving in circles 50, 60, 70 miles an hour on the tarmac of the ports of LA. Look at this guy. Wow, let me double in here and show you. He's now like, I don't know if he's doing ab exercises there on the corner of this crane or what, but yeah, he was driving around the ports for a good 10 or 15 minutes, and we thought maybe he was trying to get some kind of cover and then jump out of his car, but he did jump out of his car, but instead he decided to take a one-way trip up this crane and cornered himself here at the top. He's been sitting up here for, I don't know, a good 20 or probably about 15 or 20 minutes, maybe a little longer. No railing around him. He's, I think, several hundred feet in the air. This is Crane 85 at the ports of LA. We're on the north side of the harbor here and just west of the 110 freeway. And there you go, see again, just making weird motions. I mean, who knows what is going through this guy's head right now, but if he's high on something, it's definitely high up in the air, or if he's just incredibly mentally troubled, schizophrenic, who knows, but very unique and dangerous situation. LAPD has been, or not LAPD, Long Beach PD, and now the Port Police. They are both engaged with this guy. They're at the bottom of the crane, kind of conferring, trying to decide what they're going to do about this. Now basically a standoff situation. These situations can last for hours and hours. It was reminiscent of a situation probably 6 to 8 months ago, maybe longer, when this troubled lady, I believe she was a transient woman, climbed one of the construction cranes in downtown LA and took it to the top. She turned it on, took it to the top, like 200 or so feet in the air, maybe more. She was up there for several hours. And I'm hearing the Port Police now talking about this guy being irrational and all of the weird stuff he's doing up here, including exercises. But yeah, very similar situation. It took them a long time before the fire department, LA City Fire, along with some LAPD, went up, engaged with her, and that was a scary situation because she was actually hanging over the side of the crane at one point and almost like she was going to jump, but they talked her down. But again, the point I'm making is that these situations can take a very long time before the authorities feel comfortable to resolve them. I'm sure they've summoned some crisis counselors to the scene. I did see a canine unit down at the bottom as well, but you know, you don't want to agitate this guy anymore. You know, if you take a dog up there or something, snarling and barking, who knows? He could very easily jump over the side here. And I'll just zoom out to kind of give you perspective. It looks like from this angle he's over the water, but he's not. I don't believe he is, because as I pan out, you'll see the containers directly below him where they stack those containers. So he's not actually over the water. Just to change the shot up a little, I'll show you. That's the Coast Guard right there. So now the Coast Guard is in on this. The Port Police as well. I saw a couple of their boats circling, and the sheriff's airship has left. And Zeus tells me, pilot Zeus tells me that LAPD is now in on this with their airship. The sheriffs are running low on fuel. So now we've got LAPD, Long Beach PD. This started with Carson sheriffs. They disengaged after this guy got really crazy on the road, and but they did have the sheriff's airship overhead. So lots of different agencies involved in this really wacky situation here with this crazy guy on top of a crane. in the ports of Long Beach on the north side of the harbor in Wilmington, Crane 85, where this is all taking place here. I'm sure he has a nice view. That's for sure. Pretty nice day out here. But what can you say about some of these suspects? I only wish, you know, the authorities were having trouble. Long Beach PD, their cars were having trouble getting in here because it's such a confusing complex, and they were trying to pin down exactly which entrance to take to find this guy, and it was just really unfortunate. By the time they got in, they pulled up to him just as he jumped out of the car, and they were probably only 3 or 4 seconds too late. They could have nabbed this guy, could have grabbed him, drug him down the stairs before this turned into what is now basically a very unique, very bizarre standoff situation on top of a crane. And who knows how long this could last. You know, 4 or 5 seconds may have cost Long Beach PD multiple hours. They just, not trying to fault them or anything. It's very, very difficult navigating this area. That's for certain. But we've seen him moving around, getting up on the edge, just very carefree, dancing around at one point. Looked like he was doing some abdominal exercises a moment ago. Talking to who knows what. Look at this. Right up on the edge. I mean, all it's going to take is this guy to slip 1 inch, and that's it. Lots of eyes on this guy, not just us, obviously, and all of LA media, but we've got the Coast Guard's got binoculars on them, and the Port Police. There's at least a dozen black and whites at the bottom of the crane. I assume that they've summoned a crisis counselor to the scene. Say that again, Zeus? Oh, okay. All right, they got a ambulance here as well, even, just in case this does take a bad turn. Was a LAPD chopper that just whizzed by our shot there. From the water, from the air, from the ground. He actually evaded us for about 3 or 4 minutes when he was climbing up that staircase. It looked like he actually, now we're hearing that he actually did go inside that building and was in that building for a bit and then kicked out a window and came out on the other side of the crane. Again, probably thinking that he could find another way down and maybe sneak out. Maybe do some kind of water escape in the harbor, but instead, here we are. I'd like to know just exactly how tall this crane is, but at least 100 or so feet, I would say. Maybe 200 feet. Here, I'll let me get a, yeah, Zeus confers. Probably 200 feet. Massive structure here. At least this guy didn't try to engage this contraption and try to operate it and start doing untold amounts of damage. But this is where we are, Crane 85. 45 minutes, all right. And mark about 45 minutes of fuel here for us. Yeah. Yeah, Long Beach is right here. Let's see. There again, looks like he's doing yoga or something on top of this. Yeah, hard to say. let me know. You know, who knows? It would suck if this wrapped up when we're on the ground. That's not, you know, in our control. Probably not, though. I mean, you know how long they can take to engage this guy if he, you know, doesn't do something on his own. So up to you. I don't know. Maybe maybe in 10 or 15 minutes or so. Yeah, 20. Yeah, 20, 25 minutes. Well, Stu Mundell picked a good week to take off, didn't he, folks? But Stu can't cover every single insane situation in this city of ours. Rest assured that he is, well, I wouldn't be surprised if Stu's watching right now. But I know he's getting some much-deserved R&R. So there's the vehicle, anyway. They're conducting a search, probably looking for drugs, no doubt. Looks like actually a lot of the units, oh, here they are, actually. Below him. Oh, okay. Got Pilot Zeus up here today. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, actually, here's all the black and whites. Pilot Marcos taking the day off as well, along with Stu Mundell. So you got Zeus and Desmond covering this crazy situation. We're trying to decide when to go get fuel at Long Beach Airport. And hopefully we don't miss any big development on this, but I don't know what they're all looking at there on the hood of their cars. If that's a map or I don't know, maybe some detailed procedure or something. Policy procedure. K9 unit there. Okay, thanks. Yeah. Yeah, there he is. Yeah. Yeah, I see him. Looks like he's losing clothing. Yeah. Yeah, definitely laying on that cold metal, too. Yeah, that's fine, I guess. And Desk, so this was a stolen car from a dealership, and was hearing on Twitter. I heard him say SB. Is that San Bernardino or Santa Barbara? Do we know? San Bernardino. San Bernardino coffee, thanks. Well, you know what San Bernardino's known for. It's like the meth capital of California. Yeah. Of course, that's just conjecture. Welcome back, everyone watching us on the internet. Our friend here on top of Crane 85 in the ports of Long Beach on the west side of the harbor is lost more clothing. He shedded that Lakers jersey. Got to be getting cold up there. Laying on that cold metal. Lost his shoes a while ago. And look at that. I mean, just so willy-nilly, leaning over the side, nonchalantly, a couple 100 feet above the harbor, above these container ports. So don't let that perspective fool you. Unless he made a daring maneuver from the edge of that crane, maybe he could land in the water, but that doesn't even mean he would survive anyway from that height. Not sure what the cutoff is for. I know, like, if you were to jump off the Golden Gate Bridge, you would die because it's like hitting concrete. But I don't know at what elevation. Above 60 feet? Can damage you. Yeah, Zeus is telling me, Pilot Zeus, that anything above that could be subject to the injury or worse. So. Well, at least he seems comfortable up there. See if we can zoom in here. And yeah, he's been doing yoga and exercises up here for a while now. Oh, sorry about that. When I put the extender in, sometimes the camera always gets a mind of its own. May need to change filters shortly, but Crane 85. This might make the national news tonight. This will be a fun kicker for the shows in New York. About a wacky pursuit in LA that ended with a guy on a crane, the second busiest port in the country. It all started with this car, and we have some new details actually. We are now hearing that this vehicle, this Subaru Forester, you can see it there with paper plates, it's because it's brand new. Brand new and stolen from a dealership in San Bernardino. And judging by the way the bumper was flapping earlier in the pursuit, we're pretty sure he clipped somebody at some point. So, driving like an absolute maniac during that pursuit. And unfortunately, Long Beach PD was about as lost as this guy was as far as getting in to the ports. If they could have only gotten there 5 or so seconds earlier, they could have yanked this guy before he climbed all those stairs. Long Beach PD didn't want to chase him up the crane, and they still haven't engaged him. Yeah, look at this. High stakes yoga. Thanks everybody watching live on Facebook and CBSLA.com. Including one of my #1 fans, Angela. Thanks for tuning in. This Well, how long has this been going on now? At least 2 hours, right? I mean, I think since we heard about the pursuit. And thank you to you great Twitter folks for that listen to the scanners very, very intently. Gave us a heads up on this. We got over it just as the pursuit engaged, and this guy was driving like a wild man. So we were lucky to get the pursuit. Otherwise, we would have probably just gotten here and found a guy on a crane. But we saw it all transpire from pursuit to a couple hundred feet in the air. And let's hope he doesn't lose any more. Let's hope he doesn't lose any more clothing. Yeah, go ahead. Oh, yeah, go ahead with that. I got you there. Thank you very much. Doing a frequency check there. The lovely people in technical operations. We'll be back live on KCAL here in about 20 minutes. Looks like he's been having a very interesting one-way conversation. Oh yeah? You don't say. Tell me more. Nice tan lines. Unfortunately, once it gets dark, we won't be able to use the extender. Doesn't work very well at night. So just get some of this extreme zoom while we can. Looks like it's, through the power of our zoom, we can see how filthy his feet are. Of course, the least of this guy's problems right now. Almost certainly the last moments of his freedom for quite some time. I'm sure we'll show you some clips of the pursuit earlier. It wasn't very long, but it was really crazy. Could have easily killed someone going 70, 80 miles an hour with that SUV. Wrong side of the road at points. Cutting on the center divider. So, at the very least, he didn't injure anybody else. And while he continues his one-way conversation, we'll see what the authorities are doing here down at the bottom. Actually, they're all conferring over here. They've been conferencing for a long time now. And Not sure who these other people are. I'm sure there's a crisis counselor in there somewhere that are very skilled in getting people down for situations like this. But again, who knows how long this is going to go on? I mean, saw the most similar situation I could think of when a transient woman stole a crane in downtown LA, and went to the top, hijacked, I guess might be the better word. That situation lasted a good 2 or 3 hours. And of course, we've seen barricade situations that last many, many hours. There was just that barricade situation in West Hollywood last week lasted for 14 hours, I believe, before the sheriffs finally shot tear gas in and forced him out. So it's anybody's guess how long this is going to play out. Haven't seen him on the phone or anybody or anything like that. Haven't seen him trying to reach out to anyone, trying to make any communication. Not sure if perhaps LAPD was trying to shout to him on their loudspeakers on the airship that they've had overhead, or maybe from the ports, the port police there. I believe they're now the primary agency on this. All started with a stolen vehicle. It was a following, and then it was a pursuit, then it was a following, then it was a pursuit again. And you just hate to see community resources have to be tied up on this guy acting like a Looney Tune. On top of Crane 85 in the ports of LA on the west side of the port. Now we're going to have a ground crew there as well. Maybe they will be able to offer some insight from one of the authorities. Obviously the main concern is that if they go up there and try to get close to this guy, that he's just going to jump. And we know all the precautions that a lot of the law enforcement agencies will take to prevent a suspect from harming themselves. I know some people watch that in frustration, but what can you do? But there you see one of the port police there. Three? All right, 3 of them out there. Okay, 3 boats out there. That's the LAPD chopper. Oh, really? Wow. Oh, yeah, there's a whole fleet of them. And I believe that's the Coast Guard there as well. Serving the Port of Los Angeles. That's the fire department boat there. I believe that is the Coast Guard. Yep. So you look at this and you realize how many resources could get tied up for just one person, you know, and oh, okay, well, this guy is now completely naked. sure at what point does this become an FCC violation? Well, well,